alcohols and phenols, no, which are also organic derivatives of water. Diba? No, sa aton org 2, alcohols and phenols are, as well as ethers, by the way. No? Alcohols, ethers, and phenols are the 3 organic derivatives of water. Okay? So removing 1 hydrogen of water yields an alcohol. Removing 2 hydrogens of water yields ethers. Then, kung ang R group or ang alkyl group na mag-attach sa OH is an aromatic ring, no? So you have phenols. Okay? So these 3, alcohols, ethers, and phenols are the organic derivatives of water. So the same is true with amines. No? Amines are organic derivatives of ammonia. So this is ammonia. Pinakamusulata. So NH3. No? So may alata nitrogen forms 3 bonds, right? A trivalent siya. So that means may alata siya isa ka non-bonding electron pair. Okay? So may 2 electrons available for bonding. Okay? So when one of the hydrogens of amine is removed, okay, and is replaced by, say, an R, an alkyl group. Okay? So it forms a primary amine. Okay? When another hydrogen is replaced by another R group, what is formed is a secondary amine. And lastly, if the remaining hydrogen is displaced, no, it forms a tertiary amine. Okay? Take note, class, that the degree of substitution, no, to know that an amine is a primary, secondary, or tertiary, you need to look at the degree of substitution sa nitrogen atom. Okay? This is, by the way, different from classifying alcohols, alkyl halides. Okay? Kung sa alcohol, say, if you have R, okay? So, for example, we have 3 So, when we classify alcohols, diba, we look at the hydroxyl carbon. The hydroxyl carbon is the carbon bearing the hydroxyl group. Naman siyang hydroxyl carbon. Okay? So the degree of substitution of the carbon atom, ang mga atom binalantaw, to classify alcohols, whether it is a primary, secondary, or tertiary alcohol. Okay? So this one, the first structure, is a primary alcohol. Paano? This is your hydroxyl carbon. The carbon bearing the hydroxyl group is attached to only 1 R. Okay? And you have 2 hydrogens. So this one is a primary alcohol. Okay? Second, you have this hydroxyl carbon, which is in turn attached to 2 other radicals. Therefore, this is a secondary alcohol. Okay? Next, This hydroxyl carbon is in turn attached to 3 other radicals. Okay? Therefore, this one is a tertiary alcohol. Now, in classifying amines, hindi na siya parehas sa alcohol. We look at the degree of substitution sa nitrogen atom. Okay? So, a primary amine, kung natawag tada, you have your N. No? Diba? From NH3. Okay? So, you have say 1R and 2 hydrogens. So the nitrogen atom is attached to only one radical. Okay? So this one is the primary amine. Okay? Second, if another hydrogen is replaced, no? Then 2R ang na-attach sa nitrogen. So, secondary. And lastly, if ang tanan ng hydrogen na represent as ang radical, then tertiary amine. Okay? Again, in classifying amines, we look at the degree of substitution of the nitrogen atom. Okay? Which is different from classifying an alcohol, where we look at here the degree of substitution sa hydroxyl carbon. Okay? Question? Again, when we represent alkyl groups or aryl groups known as R. Okay? So pwede siya CH3, CH2, CH3, or whatever. Okay?
Sir, what if naka-double bond sa radical?
Naka-double bond sa?
Sa radical,
So,
kang
sa
sorry isa
radical?
ka H. Dayon.
Sa radical?
Oo.
Double bond. Double bond R.
Oo,
And
then
double bond R.
NH.
Or say CH, double bond CH. Ano na?
Oo.
Amo na siya diya po. Kaya ginatreat na siya say may ara ka double bond no CH. CH2 na attach sa yung nitrogen atom. So this is still classified as a primary amine. We do not consider how many carbon atoms there are sa substituent. Okay?
Ano namin ko sir is N double bond C.
N double bond
C.
N double bond C.
Oo.
This one.
Oo, what if mo
I-treat mo na siya gapon as is.
primary.
But when you count the number of bond, iluhan na yung NC. Okay? So, parehas sa sayan no group, yung mga C triple bond. Ayan.
Bali primary lang siya po.
Primary siya ginagawa. Okay? Question? Hindi na ta. Like ammonia, amines contain a nitrogen atom with a lone pair of electrons, making amines both basic and nucleophilic. Okay? So the chemistry of amines is actually affected by this lone pair. So later, ilatawag tanin. How does this lone pair affect the chemical properties of amines? No?
Hari lang po
So, take note class, amines are basic compounds as well as nucleophilic. What do we mean by nucleophilic? It is electron loving or electron rich species. Okay? Basic base siya. So, amines just like ammonia are Bronsted. base, and at the same time, Lewis base. Bronsted base because amines like ammonia accepts a proton, okay, during proton transfer. The one sa Bronsted-Lowry concept, the one that generates or donates hydrogen or proton is your Bronsted acid. Okay, and the one that accepts the proton is your Bronsted base. Okay? Sa Lewis concept naman, we consider the electron pair. The electron pair donor is the Lewis base, and the electron pair acceptor, ako naman ang Lewis acid. Diba? So, amines like ammonia are Bronsted base and Lewis base. Okay? So here are some of the naturally occurring amines, no, na makuha sa plants. Okay? So amines are abundant in nature. Naturally occurring amines isolated from plants are called alkaloids. Okay? So on the screen are some examples or several examples of alkaloids that have garnered public awareness because of their physiological applications. So you have morphine, no, a potent analgesic, cocaine, a potent stimulant, ano na siya, nerve sa sa brain, di ba? And nicotine, an addictive and toxic compound found in tobacco. And also we have adrenaline, dopamine, and noradrenaline. So notice that all these alkaloids contain nitrogen atom integrated in a ring system or outside the ring system. Here you have outside and that one in the ring system, while this one outside the ring. Okay? Ang common sila tanan, may nitrogen siya. No? Ang kinalain lang, may ara man sa ring, may ara man outside sa. Okay? Question. Hindi na ako pagpapagputala sa paano mo? Anong cocaine na? Okay. Classification. Next, we need to classify amines. No? First is based on the group attached to nitrogen. So, we can classify amines based on the group attached sa nitrogen atom. First, an aliphatic amine when alkyl groups are attached to the nitrogen atom. So it is represented by the formula, general formula RNH2, where R is an alkyl group or aliphatic group. Okay? So example, we have this one. This is propylamine, the common name, no? Sa common naming system. So, you have here the R and the functional group N with two hydrogen, NH2. Okay? Second, if the R, rather than R, you have AR, an aromatic ring is attached to the nitrogen atom. So, amine is classified then as an aromatic amine. Okay? Where an aryl group are attached or groups are attached to the nitrogen atom. Of course, the very basic example is your aniline. Okay? So you have here the nitrogen and the aromatic ring attached to the nitrogen atom. Okay? Aniline or benzenamine. Okay? Question? None. Next, based on the number of groups directly attached to, ay parehas lang, no? Parehas lang, ha? Based on the group attached to the nitrogen. And next, you have, okay, number of groups directly attached to nitrogen. So same to kanina. Okay? Primary, secondary, and tertiary amine. If only one R group attached to the nitrogen of amine, so primary. If two R's or two ARs, secondary, then pag tatlo, tertiary. Okay? Question? No question? Okay. Diri na ta sa naming. Okay. First naming primary amine. So the IUPAC system allows two different ways to name amines. Okay? While either method maybe nowadays you have two names. No? So either of this name is acceptable, but it depends on the complexity of the substituent group attached to the nitrogen atom. So first rule is primary amines containing more complex alkyl groups are generally named as alkanamines. Alkyl amines. Okay? Alkanamines. With this approach, the amine is named much like an alcohol, where the suffix amine is used in place of ON. Okay? Here, we first, this rule actually considers that the ang R group nag-attach na nitrogen is complex. So we start sa dere. Dito na sugod. Okay? Notice, you are given two names. Ang sa mabaw class, amo na siya ang common name. Acceptable to the IUPAC. Okay? But common names are used when you have simpler R groups. But increasing complexity of the R groups attached to the nitrogen atom, ang preferred is we name it as an alkanamine. Okay? So example, you have this one. Ano siya? Okay, it's a cyclohexane. No? And you have here the NH2. Okay? So, to name this, our functional group is imine, ang NH2. Okay? So, meaning this is a cyclohexyl substituted amine. Okay? Cyclohexyl. So, the cyclohexane, drop the A and E, then change to YN. Okay, cyclohexane becomes cyclohexyl followed by the word or the suffix amine. Okay, that is how you name, how you give common names. Name the R group first, followed by the word amine. Okay. We can also name this using the, okay, since the substituent is complex, so you may give names as if it were an alkanamine. So, ano? So, this is cyclohexane. Parehas man lang. Ano lang yung drop?
YL.
Cyclohexane, di ba? Ang yung drop is ang E. No? Para hindi ka mag-repeat sa vowel. So, cyclohexane, drop E, then add the word amine. Cyclohexanamine. Okay? For simpler one, we have here, we have the methyl group, so methyl, followed by the word amine. Okay? But you are not restricted from using the alkanamines na nomenclature, no? Pwede mo man siya gihapon tagaan. So this one is, so a methyl substituted amine is methanamine. Okay? Then the last example, you have, this one is an isobutyl group, no, attached to the nitrogen atom. So isobutyl amine. Or 1
Propan.
propanamine. Paano na 1 propanamine? Where do we start numbering the parent chain? Okay, secondary. Sa carbon, where the nitrogen is attached. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? So 2 dash methyl, 1 propanamine. So kung ano lang siya, mo lang na 1, 2, kasi instead, we only have ethylamine. Racemate. CH3, CH2, and H2. So, ethylamine lang. Okay? So, pwede mo na mahimo o paano mo ibitagaan, no? I-name. Pwede siya isobutylamine. Tama na?
Isa mag-isobutanamine.
Isobutanamine. Ikaw ba imagine, isobutanamine. Mobrahan mo structure? Mobrahan mo structure? Pwede. However, ang iso class, no, the isobutanamine, hindi siya possible since ang isobutyl is not no, as a systematic name. Common na siya yan. So, pwede lang siya sa common naming. Okay? So, hindi ka butang isobutanamine. Okay? Here, no, ang mga color blue ay yung pack system na siya. So, you really need to give, a name that follows the IUPAC system. Nga, alkanamine siya. So, this is an alkanamine. You have propac, propane, alkane, propane, propanamine. Okay? Question. Simple pa man, So, what happens naman if, aside from the amino group, the NH2, may presence other functional group? So, in the IUPAC system, amines with more than one functional group are named by considering the NH2 as an amino substituent on the parent molecule. So, inspect this first structure. So, you have an NH2 here and a COOH here. Okay? So, when choosing which functional group will be given priority, we consider the complexity of the functional group, right? And how do we know that a functional group is complex than the other? Ano ganyan ginahimo ta? The simplest way is to consider the molecular weight of the functional group. The higher the molecular weight, therefore, the more complex the functional group. And therefore, mas nagaan siya priority. Okay? So, you have an amino group, NH2, and a carboxyl group. So, if you're going to solve the molecular weight, mas taas ni ang carboxyl. So, carboxyl group is given priority here, and the other functional group will just be considered as a substituent attached to the parent molecule, which is determined by the functional group given priority. Okay? So, in any naming convention involving carboxylic acids, the carboxyl carbon is always carbon number 1. Diba? So, we have here 1. This is the carboxyl carbon. Diba? The carbon of the carboxyl group is carboxyl carbon, and it is always carbon number 1. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So our parent is, without this NH2 danay, is a butanoic acid. Okay? And since carboxylic acid siya, no? And always terminal carbon na ang carboxyl carbon, we do not write local to indicate the location of the COOH. Okay? Which is why hindi ni siya 1-butanoic acid. Okay? Just butanoic acid. Then, we consider the NH2 now, which is attached to carbon number 2. Hence, it's 2-amino. Okay? When NH2, now when amine is considered as a substituent, we call it amino. No? Amino group. So, 2-amino butanoic acid. What if ibutang mo NH2 diri sa punta? NH2, CH2, 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 COOH. Okay. 4-amino butanoic acid. Okay? Question. So, we also have another example. We have the ano siya yung molecule? Ketone. Okay, so the parent molecule is a ketone. No? And the amino group is attached to the 4th carbon, no? From the ketone group or the carbonyl group. This is the carbonyl group, right? So this is your carbonyl carbon. Okay? So your R, COR. So ketone. And sa ketone nomenclature, the carbonyl group is in the inside skeleton of the molecule. It's not sa kilid or sa terminal, but internal carbon siya. Okay? So, we have here CH3, C double bond O, CH2, CH2, and H2. Okay. So, first pangalanan, tadanay ang parent molecule, which is identified by the C double bond O, which is the ketone. Ang parent molecule naman is therefore a ketone. No? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. The carbonyl group class, pwede na siya yung mag-transfer basta sa inner skeleton ng sa molecule. Okay, gamove siya kumbaga. Which is why, naga-indicate na kita sa local. Okay? So, 2-buta, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, consider mo naman ang imong amino group, no? So, 4-amino, 2-buta. Our suffix and names ng parent is O-N-E, no? Butane, drop E, change to O-N-E. So, buta, no.
Sir, hindi sa pwede mag-1-amino, 3-butano.
Yeah. Which is more complex, a carbonyl group or an amino group? Paduwa kagit kasi double bond O. Mag-butane, 1, 2, or 2, 3 tayo O. Ibang may duwa ka kasi double bond O. Butane, butane, then 1, 2, okay? I-check mo lang molecular weight na nice ang C double bond O pag sa H2.
Same. Hindi mo pag-ang same 60 sa R.
Ano na? Amo ba na siyang functional group? Kag-ini functional group.
Isa oxygen, ano yan? Sa carboxylic kasi COOH diba?
Sa carboxylic COOH kaya kay bilog ni sila amo na yang mga functional group.
Ano yan?
Duha. How many functional groups are there in this structure? Answer is duha. You have this, the amino group, and the
Carboxyl.
carboxyl group, where the carboxyl group is more complex than the amino group. So, the more complex functional group present in the structure determines the identity of the parent molecule. So, kung ito more complex ang COOH, so ang parent molecule nimo is a butanoic acid. Here, the more complex is the carbonyl group. So, it is the it is the carbonyl group that determines the name of the parent. So, we have a keto, butanoic.
So, bali, mas complex si carboxylic kay
Yes. If you're going to compare the complexity of the carbonyl group and the carboxyl group, the carboxyl group is more complex than the carbonyl. Okay. Next,
Pwede mo siya mapangalanan sa ang may keto.
ang
May keto.
may ketone tapos meron siya carboxyl group. Ano ha? Ara sa oral
Ano
group.
na
aminoethyl
na nakang
aminoethyl methyl
ketone.
ketone.
Pwede mo.
Ay mo sa amino ethyl methyl ketone. Kami amino. Nga nakatag siya sa ethyl. Ako, ano yung
To amino acid.
Ester group. Yeah.
Pero hindi mo makita.
Ay, oo,
Hindi makita.
Gusto niya mama. Ay, pag hindi na pa-complex, pag hindi Israel ka po, wait ako. Yan, tagaan mo lang pa ay ID. Sige, nasa na S. Next. We have here the next example. Again, nandun sila primary ha, primary alkyl amines or primary aryl amines. Okay? Okay, look at this structure. You have three functional groups attached to the aromatic ring. You have the carboxyl group and two amino group. Okay? Again, priority is given to a more complex subsequent, which is the carboxyl group. Okay? So, kay di siya kitagaan yung priority, then therefore, siya niyang mahatag sa name sa parent molecule niyo. Okay? And since kitagaan mo siya, siya ang ma-determine sa name sa parent molecule. Therefore, this COOH is considered to be attached to the first carbon. Okay? Then we start counting from the carbon bearing the more complex constituent, which is the carboxyl group. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 2, 4 diamino benzoic acid.
Kung nag-benzaldehyde ay aldehyde sa cereal, CHO.
Baka CHO siya. So between CHO and COH, which is
Bali sa NH2 kay duwa ka amino kag isa ka CHO. Bali ang
duwa ka amino, isa ka CHO. Okay, so which is more complex? CHO.
or isa lang sa amino.
Isa lang siya, hindi mo siya. Hindi. Guys,
Abi ko
these are not additive. No? You do not, you don't need to add the two different functional groups. The two functional groups attached sa ring, hindi na siya additive. Okay? So only one lang. So kung may kung may CHO, no? So the aldehyde group is more complex than the amine. So what if ang COOH is lang CHO? What's the name?
2,4-diamino benzaldehyde.
Okay, 2,4-diamino benzaldehyde. Okay. Next, aromatic amines or aryl amines are named as derivatives of aniline. So therefore, I do not need to explain this. Right? Huh? So this is aniline. And when aniline is further substituted with other atoms or groups, no? So the parent is aniline. Okay, consider this one. So we have chloro group and a chloro group attached to the aniline. Diba? And since disubstituted and benzene ring, we use the descriptors or meta. In this example, the two substituents are meta with one another. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So meta or N. Chloro aniline. Okay, so this is meta-chloroaniline is an aniline derivative. Okay, next. How about this one? The next example. Question.
Okay lang. Kaya ano man siya. Iyanan ko mo. Okay naman natin. Wala man lakas.
O diba, pag substituted na, gabalik kita sa which functional group attached to the ring can give a special property. Diba? So there is no special name to benzene with chloro group. Okay? How about sa ethane attached to the benzene ring? Wala man. And only the NH2 attached to the benzene ring gives a special name aniline. Okay? Therefore, the carbon bearing the NH2 is carbon number 1. But why can't we number the ring in this direction? But in fact, if we're going to look at the structure, ethyl group is more complex than the fluoro group. Diba? We say increasing complexity. Our consideration is complexity. Diba? Okay, because the rule is, this is the rule. The rule says, whenever there is a halo or halogen group present, treat it as if it were an alkyl. Okay, if you have a halogen group and an alkyl group, you do not need to compare, kung diin na ang more complex. Ang imo na lang taon na is which of the two groups attached to the ring ang makahatag sa first nga difference. Okay? So from this is carbon 1, kadto ka di, wala may naka-attach. Pag diri ka, there is your first point of difference. The fluoro group is here. Okay? That's just one way. Another way is i-plus mo ang locals. Kung diri ka masugod number, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 6. O 1, 3, 6. 10. Kung diri ka naman, it's 1, 2, 5. Pila? Okay. So lower sum of local value is preferred. Okay, therefore it is just correct na number the ring sa diri na direction. Okay? Hence the name 5-ethyl to fluoro. So question on naming primary or primary alkyl and aryl. secondary alkyl amines or aryl and aryl amines, no? As well as tertiary alkyl and aryl amines. So in common nomenclature, secondary and tertiary amines are named as alkyl amines or as alkanamines for the IUPAC, no? Based on the complexity of the alkyl groups attached to a nitrogen atom. And systematically, okay, alkanamines, no, we add the locant N to designate substituents attached to a nitrogen atom. Okay? So, kanina, ang alkanamines are primary amines. No? Nawala substituent. What if may substituent na? So, each substituent receives a local designation of N, no, before the name of the substituent. For example, we have this one. We have, notice, no, pangalanan na siya danay ang inyong structure, okay, using the common name, no, common naming system, okay. So, this is your amine, NH. And we have how many R groups? Duha. Symmetrical, unsymmetrical. Unsymmetrical. This R has one carbon only, while this one has two. Therefore, unsymmetrical ang R groups attached to the nitrogen atom. Okay? So, for unsymmetrical, secondary amines, okay? Secondary, right? Okay? So, pangalanan ta una, magpangalan kita, i-arrange natin by alphabetical order. Okay? So, we first have, this is ethyl, and this one is methyl. So, sa common naming system, we first write ethyl by alphabetical precedence. E comes before M. So, ethyl, methyl, plus the word amine. Okay? Kaya kung wala ni karon class ang inyo, so H na female, so ethyl amine siya, primary. Okay? Then, kung systematic naman, or ayupa, okay? Kung wala ni siya, H ni B, no, H ni B, so ethanamine. Okay? But the nitrogen is further substituted, so this amine is a secondary amine. So, tandaan lang na pag secondary and tertiary amine, that is the time when giving the systematic names, no, of secondary and tertiary amine, we designate each group attached to the nitrogen atom using the local N. Okay? So, this is your amine, your NH. So, kahit systematic, we need to identify the parent. Okay? So, which is longer? An N with an ethyl or an N with a methyl? With a ethyl. So, therefore, our parent is imine. Okay? So, ang counting nato na the class is halindari. 1, 2. Diba? Hindi mo makakaya sila? 1, 2. Kaya hindi mo nila na-consider ang isa kasi substituent na lang na siya yan. So, 1, 2. So, our parent, therefore, is an ethanamine. Ethanamine. Ini. So, an ethane with an amino with a nitrogen, NH group, no? Then, may ethanamine ka na, then, i-indicate lang natin kung ano ang naga-substitute sa nitrogen atom. Okay? Which is a methyl. So, we use the locant N dash methyl ethanamine. Yes? Or another example. small. So pagkakita nyo sa structure, first is yung i-classify siya nanay. Okay? I-classify. So you have an R here and another R here. Or silang R prime. Yun sila parehas. Okay? So this amine is primary, secondary, or tertiary?
Secondary.
Okay, secondary. Kay secondary siya, so if pamangkuton ka mo sa ayupak name, magalit na ka mo sa local N. Okay? So, pili. Diin ang parent.
Propil.
Obviously, okay, so you have an R and this R. This R, left or right?
Left.
Okay, on the left is longer than the one on the right. So, ang muna siya, therefore, imo nga, piliin nga parent. Kay siya, ang pili mo nga parent, upod mo da ang NH. Okay? Ang NH. Then the counting starts from the carbon where the nitrogen is attached to. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? Hindi kita rin sa pagkawang. Okay? O, pangalanan, tanda na yung parent para mas kapos.
Propanamin.
Propanamin lang.
Ay,
Parent ko lang. Parent ng danay. So,
propanamin. Propel lang.
parent na rin danay.
Propel lang.
Parent ng danay.
Propanamin.
Hindi, ang ginamin ko class, pangalanan sa danay, ang parent lang, without this one.
Propanamin. Ay, propanamin.
May kulang. Pila ka carbon ang parent? Tatlo. Pag tatlo na, you need to indicate lokan.
One propanamin.
Okay, so 1. Alkylamine na siya ha. Propane, alkane, amine. So propane, amine. So propa
Namin.
na amine. So this is the parent, 1 propanamine.
Yes.
Okay? Now, idugang na ni siya ang nag-substitute sa another carbon.
And
Okay? So anong isulat?
methyl.
Okay. Dash
And
and
methyl.
ethyl.
Ay, ethyl galing.
Okay. 1 propanamine.
Bali.
And wala mo na siya.
Hindi na permit, sir. Hindi na permit.
Propanamin.
Hindi na permit, sir. Ang na-attach lang sa nitrogen na carbon always. Ang na-attach siya nila sa amine na carbon, hindi na siya permit mag-always number 1 na carbon.
Siya gid.
Secondary na structure yung mga tumangkot? Hindi. Kahit basta sa pag-draw ko lang na nag-A siya mabang. Dari ang H. So, tanan na sila. Sa nitrogen na sila. HCN. Sa quiz na naman to. Kabala.
Ala.
O, anong question? Gets ne? Another example pa? Ria, question? Pwede na, pwede na S. Kaya naka-functional group? Okay, i-apply mo lang siya kung i-input mo lang ang primary kung secondary. O, anong structure?
Gamit. Like, iyan ang nag-bulletin.
Kasi, butangan sa functional group. Asa mo tala, gusto mo si OH.
Secondary na ni.
Si OH na yung carbon. Correct?
Kaya mamin na rin.
Okay, o lang taon tayo i-try ta. We have CH3, yung ginasuggest ni Israel, CH2,
Double man bisa.
and H. Then, it's C. Ano ne? Another functional group ang ginatouch mo diretso.
Siya ma-parent day ang benzoic. Ay. Pwede na.
Pwede ni?
Hindi.
Wala ko pa nakita din sa ano na. Pero kung pili ko sa pangalanan, kaya mo si ano eh,
Parent na.
Methanoic acid siya. Diba? Kung kompleto, tagida, do, wala pa ko nakita ang ammonia.
1-butene siya.
So ano siya? N-ethyl,
RD. 1-1-D. Mato. Butene. Ano sila yun? Kung tayo naman kasi sa punta.
ano?
Hindi siya mag-butene. 1-butene ng Japan. Pwede ka mag-start ka. Ang nagay sa papel na butene. Bali, why hindi ka exist nga? 3-butene.
Maamay ba nga siya kung ang OH mo
Why
may
hindi ka
represent sa
exist nga? 2-butene.
R.
Okay, 1
Di ba amay? R, C-O, R, N, H, C-O, R. Diba? Maamay talaga siya. Okay? Hindi mo pangalanan tadi. Pero a carboxyl group directly attached to the amino group or the amine group. Wala kayo nila pang-A. Hindi mo pangalanan tadi siya as an amay. Ano pa siya sa dati? Hindi pa ito i-complicate is kasi lang na sa isang na amay.
Puntahan tanga man.
Ano to ako may sulat?
CH2. Wala na.
This is?
Sige, ano?
Anong parent lang?
Ang ketone. Ang ketone. Roar.
Kailan sorry? Kulang ko. Ester?
Oh, so isama na ako sa ano? Acetanilide. And ACH3. Isa lang
Ikaw
po.
muli ano siya?
Esther.
Ester.
Paano siya mag-amay?
Bigyan ba natin kung Ester ganyan? Met. Til. Etanamide. Ester.
Kaya mo pag-slime lang kabuhi. Mga pasir-ice na yan, mga possibilities yung basta. Mga possibilities na balog ako.
Pati lang yan.
Kaya tagaan lang kaya kaibigan.
Feel ko pag sinunto na sa strata center. Kaya ba siguro headline na pala.
Tingin mo ang lato na nga.
Mula matulog si Mutix. Gusto na ba na?
Okay, next. Oh, ano? Next example. Question dira. So you have symmetrical R attached to the nitrogen atom. So we can use the, we have ethyl and ethyl. So di-ethyl amine sa common naming. Sa ayupak. So pag ayupak na, you need to choose the parent. So either lang. Ito equal man, symmetrical man. So ang parent is ethanamine. So that means ang isa ka R that substituted sa nitrogen, that is substituted to the nitrogen is okay, is substitution. So N is ethanol. Again, when writing the name, I want you to use big letter I.
Wala siya.
and ethyl ethanol. So this is for secondary pa lang ito ng example. What if sa tertiary? So we now have a tertiary amine. Okay? Okay, consider the first example. Notice that all the hydrogens attached to a nitrogen have been replaced by R group. So you have 3 R's. No? So sa common naming, this is an ethyl group, another ethyl, another ethyl. Tatlo. So tri, ethyl, amine. Kung sa IUPAC or systematic naming, of course you need to choose the parent. But all R's are equal naman in length. So pili ka na lang isa. No? So kung amoni, ethanamine. Pag ini, ethanamine gyapon. Pag ini, ethanamine man gyapon. So either na lang. Now, after choosing the parent, nga ethanamine, the rest, R's, are substituents. Okay? So, you have N, comma N, dash, diethyl ethanamine. Okay? For symmetrical, no? R's. Pero kung unsymmetrical naman, we have another example sa dito side. So, for the common naming, okay, we have 1, 2, 3 propyl group, methyl group, ethyl group. Pasunodon lang. Okay? So, ethyl, methyl, propyl, amine. Okay? For IUPAC, the longer R, no, attached to the nitrogen atom, amo ang parent. Okay? So obviously, amo ning longest rather. The longest R amo ning. Okay? So therefore, the parent is a propanamine. But since tatlo ka carbon, okay, we add locant na. So 1 propanamine ang parent. Okay? Then the other R's become substituents to the nitrogen atom. Okay? So pasunodon ka man nagsulat isang substituents. N dash ethyl dash another N dash methyl, then isumpon mo ang parent na identify group, which is 1 propanamine.
Wala, iya kaya. Wala, may gamit yan sa pilo. Wala ba yun?
Okay, try to give the name this structure. Okay, first, classify the amine. This amine is tertiary amine. Then, identify
Pentamine.
HRs danay. Kagtagaan siya danay sa iya nga common name. So we have, this one is
Propyl.
this one is a propyl. This one,
Butyl.
butyl. And this one
Pentyl.
is pentyl. Okay.
Pentamine.
Give me the common name. Arrange alphabetically. We
Butyl.
have butyl.
Pentyl. Pentyl.
How about ayupa?
And butyl.
Kaya sa ayupa, okay, pangitaan na ang pair or assign the pair. So obviously our parent is
Pentanamine.
okay, so pentanamine. Pentanamine. So sila po ng pentanamine.
One pentanamine.
One.
So what's lacking?
One.
Local,
Local.
1. Dash 1. Okay, parent na. Okay, parent na rin. That means then, ang iban nga nagatapik sa nitrogen
Butyl propane.
are
Substituents.
substituents. Okay.
Butyl
Sa isa na sulat.
and
Ang
butyl
particular
propane.
alphabetical precedence.
And butyl propane.
First,
And
butyl.
Ah?
So we add the local
And
N.
butyl.
And
Dash.
Butyl.
Ito, ano again?
Butyl.
And propane.
And
Dash.
dash.
Propane. Dash.
Propane. Dash 1 dash. Pentanamine.
Grabe ba?
Tapos na. Di ba?
Tapos kada
Each hydrogen atom in the terminal, terminal carbon attaching CL.
Kada punta ko lang sir may CL.
may CL.
May CL. Yes, na yan. CL.
CL.
Ah, CL.
Chlorine.
CL.
What if kung
Group na siya eh.
ang substituent, may substituent.
Pang-count na siya po, gani so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So,
Five
parent mo
chloro.
becomes 5
Five
chloro,
chloro.
1
Pentanamine.
pentanamine. Okay, then kung may mga CL, pag ibiyo, pang group na sila. Dahil yung kabuhi ha. Nga ano pa mga test, lahat yung may ari pang dito. Sakto man lang. How about this one? Question pa nun din ang malanan niyo?
3.
So,
2 dichloro.
kung nagtawag ng structure class, one of the R groups, attached to the nitrogen atom is lengthy. Laba. So, pag muna, we are constrained to give it is obvious na ang parent chain is hindi na exposed na sa ilmo. Okay? So, the given name is only an ayupa. Okay? So, paano ko na-explain? So, you have 1 methyl, 1 ethyl, isa ka methyl group, isa ka ethyl group, then isa ka hexyl group. But the hexyl group is substituted. Okay, now one of the hydrogens of in the hexyl group is 2 hydrogens are substituted by chloro groups. Okay? So, tantaon ka kung paano i-arrange ang name. Okay, so the parent is obviously the R, the longest R attached to the nitrogen atom, which is this one. Okay, so obviously, amo na itong parent, but the nitrogen is attached to the carbon number 3. So the parent molecule is 3-hexanamine. Okay? Then, kung ang tawag na sa pag-arrange ng name, isunod ang mga substituents directly attached to the nitrogen atom. Okay? Ang akon yung pangalan halin sa halin sa parent. Okay? So, anong ka-attach sa nitrogen? We have methyl and ethyl. So, N, ethyl, and methyl. Okay? Then, whatever substituents class na ara sa R attached to the nitrogen atom, that is written first. Okay? So, 2,2-dichloro and ethyl and methyl 3-hexanamine.
page na nasa sir.
Hindi siya magkakabit.
Page ano na ta?
Patient
Slide number.
12 of 82.
Hindi na siya alphabetical, sir.
Wala sa
Hello?
Sir,
Gana 1 hour? Nakay kahinay siya.
Sir, ba?
Wala kasi ko naman kung
attach may ano, floro.
Sa tiin.
Matuto.
Una na siya
Ano
niya
gapon?
po.
Hindi
Sa
siya
matong
magkakabit.
duwaki ka floro.
hindi siya mag-alphabetical.
Hindi siya magkakabit.
Sa Aryo, notice lang notice na mag-name kita sa amines. Dapat ang tanan nga substituents nga attached sa nitrogen papasok sila. Aryo, ano ang attached sa nitrogen? We have ethyl, methyl, and hexyl. Okay? O, kung tawag mo, ari si ethyl and methyl, attached and hexyl amine. No? So whatever substituents present sa R's, ipauna mo dito sa. Oo. Dari naman? Wala, dari.
May floro sa piyak.
At yan.
May alphabetical.
Nadiin siya. Nadiin. Chloropropyl. Ethyl. Islan propyl. Okay, then.
So, ipigil sa...
Di ba nila sa
Ako sa atin.
And. Sibutan ko na lang. We will have CH2, CH2, CH2Cl.
May chloro. Nakapang ba yung kanina? May chloro. Pag ito sa methyl. Eh, combine with here. And chloromethyl.
Dua kasi
Ano, diba? And methyl.
Okay, tapos,
And
the
chloromethyl.
rest as is. Or say, isa din ka CH3, nasunod rin, hexyl, nawala na lang, Cl.
Ang floro sa baba. Ang floro kaya ang floro sa
CCl2 and 2CH3. CH3, CCl2, CH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, pati pangalanan. Yeah, as is, no? So 2, 2 dash dichloro dash methyl ang una. And methyl dash and dash
Okay, combine mo sa sagot. Pag ang tawag sa methyl.
1, 2, 3. So 1, 3 dash
Siguro sir, ang floro.
sorry. 2, 3 3 dash dichloro
Propyl.
propyl parenthesis siya.
Ano juro sila? Dichloropropyl.
Ethyl.
Dichloro propyl
Close parenthesis.
dash
3-hexanamine.
Okay, let's check na night. Do we need to use dash? Ano lang po, parenthesis?
Yes.
Hindi na chloro ah.
Uy. Kaya hindi mo substituent.
Ato?
Now, as to the alphabetical
Propyl
precedence,
dichloro.
which will come first, the methyl or the
Chloro. Propyl.
So the name becomes 2, 2 dash dichloro dash and 2, 3 dichloropropyl as a name and methyl 3 hexanamine. Need ka S, Y, may halika another dash on you. So, kailangan ta siya i-group. I-group ta siya. Okay? Question? Alas 11. Hindi kaya ang preparation sa dapat na bakwas na kasi slide yung tiwa.
Dichloro. TNC.
Next na.
Tatlo sa dichloro.
Oh, no. May game, ako sa may game alphabetical.
Dichloropropyl.
Hindi na alphabetical, pero ginambal.
Kaya alphabetical, hambal ko lang.
Ginambal nila yung
Ano naman?
Oo.
So, yung alphabetical ang may name. So, ano lang faces? M and C. Okay, question here.
Methyl. Ano yun?
Gets? So, this is a substituted aniline. So, each substituent on the aniline, no? Especially, more specifically, sa nitrogen sa aniline, pinapangalanan tangan siya using the local, then arrange by alphabetical.
Cute.
Okay, next. We also have heterocyclic amines. Now, in systematic replacement, nomenclature, the prefixes aza, diaza, triaza, aza, hindi asa. Aza.
Uy! 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 Low S!
Sa balay lang na ma-reflect ang asa-asa. So, the prefixes aza, diaza, and diaza are used to indicate that nitrogen atom have replaced carbon atoms in the corresponding hydrocarbon. So, if
Kapilan sa bukas.
one nitrogen has replaced a carbon atom in a cyclic configuration, so we use
Aza.
aza. Kung duha, diaza. Tatlo ka nitrogen.
Ano din na-replace, sir? Nitrogen?
Si
Or car? Si
isa,
hydrogen or car?
may heterocyclic amine siya.
Ah!
Meaning, cyclic configuration ni tanan. No? So, kung ang isa sa carbon, sa cyclic amine, sa cyclic compound, yung represent sa nitrogen, so, to name, we use the prefix aza. Kung duha ka nitrogen ang nag-replace sa carbon sa cyclic compound, diaza. Okay, may mga specific examples in it. I will take note first that a nitrogen atom in the ring, no, or the highest atomic weight heteroatom, as in the case of diazole, which contains a sulfur, is designated position 1 and that ring proceeds to give the lowest overall set of locals to the heteroatom. So, isa-isa. We have pyrrole. So, formerly, this N is carbon. Okay? The carbon here is replaced by nitrogen. Okay? So, that heteroatom present in the cyclic compound is considered or is given the first position or is the position 1. So, numbering starts from the heteroatom in the heterocyclic amine. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, 1 dash, we have the aza prefix. Isa lang ka nitrogen, so aza. Okay? Followed by, in-name mo na siya dason as if it were a cyclic alkadine. Okay? Cyclo, penta, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, diene. Nagets?
Yeah.
Okay, Ari. I-imagine mo danay na carbon ni. Okay? Para mapangalanan mo siya na si 2,4-cyclopentadiene na siya gali. Next, para ma-compare na-realize nyo naman siya. May pyrazole. So pyrazole contains 2 nitrogen atoms. So 2 carbon atoms of a cyclopentadiene, no, is replaced or are replaced by nitrogen atoms. So
Wala.
this nitrogen is given position 1 and the second is position 2. Okay? Now question. If this can be given position 1 and this one is position 2, why not this one? And not, why not this one is position 1 and this is position 2?
Hindi, sabi ko yan. Kay hapon mo na lang.
Eh, wala. Wala daw ban. Wala sa age. Okay mo. So,
Simple lang ang rason.
Complex.
Hindi ka masugod sa lang. Ay karon kung liwaton ta, hindi na sila kang consistent. Okay? So numbering, notice na ang numbering na isugod will always sa sa diri nga nitrogen. Memorize, saan na lang ha? Ano ang special name? Ano ang ayupak name niya? Pwede na kang masala. Para pag butangan ta na di...
Hala!
So may design. Idugang yun na lang sa una sining. Sa una ka na ka idugang. Saan sinuwan?
Hindi pwede na magamit para zolong punta.
Gusto ko yung di butang mo di
Ayaw
ayupak.
pa eh.
Ha? Pero kung wala man lang kaging pangayukan sa
Pwede mo lang pera doon.
ano, sa naayong package, so pwede kayo magamit sa special name. No? Kung dire mo siya big attach,
Ay ano, orto. Ay, yung gali kay hindi
Five.
Ano sa sabi?
mga 5
Five
methyl
methyl.
pyrrole sa di ba? Or 5 methyl,
Methyl, one
basta naman
plus
one
one.
as a cyclopenta.
Naka-close yun na niya.
Ibutang mo lang gid sir. Ako pa rin
Naka-parenthesis
Hindi.
yun. Ay.
Wala hindi parenthesis lang ni.
Ay, parang
Ay,
yan.
ini ang special, ini ang
Hindi special.
not so special. Ano na pagpatalbisa? Buta kayo masiyo.
Sir, nag-asa ko lang dito pas nag-ilaw.
Dahil,
Wellness?
Lalo yan sa...
Wellness yun.
Next. Pare-parehas na lang siya. Iniya. Aromatic. Okay, kanina, here you have 2 heteroatoms in the cyclic configuration. So, notice that sulfur is given position 1 and that nitrogen in this case. Because consideration is the high atomic weight heteroatom present in the cyclic configuration is given position 1.
Sir, nga hindi tayo, sir. Nga tayo.
Ay, ito, hindi tayo. Ako na.
okay, right. Kung sarap ng S lang daw.
Kaya, may sabi. Kadamo.
Masakit, maligalig.
Ah, ano eh.
Oh, sa next to try.
Ano na S?
Kung yes lang sunod, tayo lang eh.
Anong S out?
Tayo. Hindi ka na mag-add.
Kung S attached to an OH is thiol.
Sir, yung may yung pag-yes, sir,
Kasi tagaan kay kumakaon tayo.
Hindi pwede lang sa wala. Sipurin.
Hindi.
Tidak ba to?
Ang epes.
Dapat ka.
Ang epes ni Sir Sam.
Kaya kami dapat.
Di dapat, gai. Gai dapat.
Okay, so that's all for nomenclature. Structure.
Page na na to, sir.
Page 18.
Luwa na lang.
Bigay na po sa talo. Ay, po. Itin.
So, the nitrogen atom of an amine is typically sp3 hybridized with the lone pair occupying an sp3 hybridized orbital. So on the screen you have the structure of trimethyl amine. So its geometry is trigonal pyramidal with an angle of more than 90 degrees, so 108. And the CN band length is 147 picometer. That is actually intermediate, no? Sa carbon, hydrogen, sa carbon, oxygen. Ang carbon to carbon band, ilang band length?
Carbon. Carbon.
The CN bond is intermediate, no? The band length of CN is intermediate with that of carbon, hydrogen, and carbon, oxygen. So, the CC bond is 153 picometer, while the CO bond is 143 picometer. So, the reason there is the increasing polarity of the bond, no? Due to the electronegativity of the atom sharing a bond with carbon atom.
Pinatong yan ni carbon kung oxygen. Sir.
Carbon oxygen is shorter, 143 picometer, because oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. So nitrogen X 147. Then the longest is the carbon to carbon bond, 158. So paano siya nag-sp3 hybrid? So we use steric numbers, di ba? We use steric numbers to identify the geometry of the molecule, of the central atom. Okay? So how do we, by the way, what is a steric number?
The sum of your lone pair carry number of bonds.
Huh? So what does steric number represent?
Sa number sa
Hybrid.
So steric number indicates the number of bonding and non-bonding electrons. Okay? So, for this trimethylamine, pila ang number of
Bonding.
wala, kaya kita na sila
wala din. Wala din.
number of bonding, number of bonds. Number of bond being electrons, pila. Number of non-bonding or lone pair. So pila ang bonding? Tatlo. Non-bonding, 1. So steric number is 4. Pag ang steric number is 4, so that is an sp3 hybrid central atom. So this nitrogen therefore is an sp3 hybrid nitrogen. Okay? In terms of electron arrangement,
May sungay-sungay.
anong tendency sa mga electrons? They tend to
Mapalayo sa isang
okay,
isa.
due to repulsive forces, no, that nag-ano na sila, they need to be in a maximal distance, hindi sila mag-repel, no? So, consequence of that, repulsive forces between electrons is i-arrange nilang ila kaugalingon in 3 dimension, no? Which leads to the formation of which leads to the geometric shape sa molecule nila. Okay, so sp3. Electronically, or electrons are arranged in what?
Diagonal.
Kay sp3 siya. electronically, tetrahedral ang electrons.
Ay, oo.
Electronically, tetrahedral. Ang arrangements ng electrons, tetrahedral pa. Now,
Kung dala.
we need to identify, or we need to check, no, ang features ng mga central atom. How many lone pairs are there?
1.
Okay. So, kung may isa ka lone pair, no? So, kung no lone pair,
Tetrahedral siya.
the geometry of the central atom is tetrahedral. Diba? With one lone pair,
Trigonal.
it's trigonal, pyramidal. Then kung may duha,
Ben.
bend. Okay? Bend is also possible for sp2 hybrid molecule with one lone pair. So, two lone pairs. So, sa atom, electronically, no, tetrahedral, but since may one lone pair ang nitrogen sa diri, ang trimethylamine, so, the geometry of the central atom is trigonal, pyramidal. Okay? Oh, question ni Miss Chelsea niya, di ba? Question.
Gapo na inyo ba? Gapo na ko na siya.
Wala ka na si Rota, silibutan mo yung mata.
Clockwise.
Awan mo na ka na si
Wala. Kaya nga, ang next is
Uy!
gravity center.
Amo ganyan.
So, amines containing 3 different alkyl groups are chiral compounds. What are chiral compounds? Non-super. Na-emphasize ni Miss Shah, anong difference ng superposable at superimposable?
Wala.
Wala. Ilisugid yun na.
Pero ikaw na lang ba?
Okay lang ba? Ito lang sa Org 1 na pa, diba? Hindi nalipat na po doon mo matuloy si Rilke. Lipat na po.
Ilang?
Sakto na
Pas.
po ito, Brad.
Pas.
Pas is pas.
Diba? May difference na. So sa diri, so mirror image yun man.
Yes.
So the nitrogen atom has a total of 4 different groups. Paano ng 4 different groups? You have 3 R's and 1 lone pair. Okay, this lone pair occupies HP orbital.
Pinangampangan.
Okay, so that's why apatanan ang ara sa ang naka-attach sa central atom ng nitrogen. Okay? So okay. So this nitrogen atom class is a chirality center because of the 3 alkyl groups attached to it and 1 lone pair occupying a p orbital.
Isa-isa
So,
na lang hindi ko.
compounds of this configuration, however, are generally
Sakit.
not optically active due to rapid
Kaya ako makakasana. Sakit ka dyan.
record. Compounds of this type are generally not optically active at room temperature because pyramidal or nitrogen inversion occurs quite rapidly, producing a racemate
Ay, ko correct.
enantiomers.
Ano? Saan ko na?
Okay, racemic. Mixture of enantiomers. What are enantiomers? Racemic. O mag-mixture. No? Mixture lang sa compounds that cannot be separated.
Violet.
Or like a non-superimposed.
Ragalida, hindi pagasto dahil.
So, take note, enantiomers, enantiomines.
Sa Wednesday, sa kapon, dahil mga relasyon,
Enantiomines,
Amalo ka? Oo. Ayaw mo na sa, ano, may pakido ka natural lang. Okay, mo man
From
ang mga
enantiomers means opposite. So, enantiomers occur only with compounds whose molecules are chiral. Chiral compounds a chiral molecule is one that is superposable on its mirror image. Superposable. Okay, so what is this pyramidal inversion or nitrogen inversion? So initially,
lubat na.
so this is pyramidal or nitrogen inversion, no, which takes place so rapidly where this sp3 hybridize, no, nitrogen is inverted
Sakit-sakit
to
din tayo.
two mirror
Wala
images
no.
in enantiomeric forms of an amine. So what happens here? During pyramidal inversion, the compound passes to this transition state where the nitrogen atom has an sp2 hybrid configuration or geometry. No? And this is sp2 hybrid siya, it's no longer tetrahedral, but it's planar. Because, ano na tabo? Anong kinalain? Because the electron pair is now occupying sa transition state.
Right, nagawa ko ba?
Hindi na katong electron. Excited. So, ano siya pa sa p orbital A. But the configuration is only change, no? Okay, so it's now along the X, Y, or Z.
Sugar ka.
X, Y, or Z.
Wala ako man. Pero naging dapat siya.
Along the
Lipat ko. Ano na ganun? Pinoidal, hi.
in electron dot.
Wala lang. Pinoidal. Pinoidal. Tama na ako mga
Kaya ang sebo de macho day. Ang sebo de
Sir,
macho.
pero bigas na rin. Pero
Hindi.
matapos.
Naginikigang
So this take note na lang that this transition state no is only about 25 kilojoule or 6 kilocalories per mole higher in energy than the sp3 hybrid geometry.
Clear man eh.
That means ano implication sa ina, no? The energy barrier is too small. That is only 25 kilojoule per mole or 6 kcal per mole only. So the energy barrier is too small, no, or is relatively small, and that can
Yan,
be
mo lang
easily surmounted at room
adjust
temperature.
mo iyang
So, anong resulta?
gani man.
Because of this too small
Hindi man sa ganun
energy
siya
barrier
kung
between an sp3 hybrid geometry and an sp2 hybrid geometry. That means that most amines then, bearing three different alkyl groups, cannot be resolved or separated at room temperature. Okay? So we also have here the quaternary ammonium salt. It now contains four different groups, no? And R chiral, which can be as in contrast to the trimethylamine, no? Hindi mo siya ma-separate or ma-resolve. But here, this quaternary ammonium salt, no? The nitrogen atom has four forms 4 bonds in this quaternary ammonium salts. No?
Lahi?
So, this quaternary ammonium salts with 4 different groups are chiral and can be resolved or
Para sa ano?
separated. No?
Tawa.
So, you have here the 2 forms.
Hindi ko mabibigay ko ma.
Manita, manito na ta.
May makugot. Kita lang ako. Parang mga preparahan. Gusto ko iPhone 15. Ay,
Uy, wala na ka
May
naman
salt siya, so the nitrogen bears positive. Or the nitrogen atom is charged. Is charged. Bears positive for one charge.
iPhone. Pila per month. Dito ako, nagaling na ko.
So question on the structure before we proceed to the properties. Napuso na pa na iya hasta mata sa slide 51. Slide 22. Physical properties. First, in terms of solubility. So amines exhibit solubility trends that are similar to the trends exhibited by alcohol. So amines with fewer than 5 carbon atoms per nitro group are generally soluble, while those with more than 5 carbon atoms per atom are sparingly soluble.
Ako yun.
Let's compare. So first, this one. We have an amine with 2 carbon atoms only. So, highly soluble siya in water. Okay? Let's go back to the intermolecular forces. Tell me, what are the IMFs present in this molecule? Yeah, that's correct. One is hydrogen bonding. What are the 2? Okay, we have the van der Waals, London dispersion forces. Next is the dipole-dipole. Diba? Dipole-dipole. And the third is hydrogen bonding. And this hydrogen bonding class is actually a type of dipole-dipole interaction. But this is only specific to the interaction of hydrogen with atoms of oxygen, nitrogen, and chlorine. Meron pa? Ano pa gid?
Fluoride.
What other atoms can hydrogen form a bond with? Hydrogen bonding. We have nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Ano pa? Meron pa?
Poison giver.
Not all. Only chlorine. Kahit kung sa iba naman na siya ng members ang chlorine, it's not hydrogen bonding. But dipole-dipole na. Diba? So, mo lang to, oxygen, nitrogen, and chlorine. Mo lang to. So, in this molecule, okay, tell me, what are the IMFs? Okay, pakton lang. Pila kabilog? How many IMFs?
Tatlo.
So, ganun yung molecule?
7.
Nine.
We have 2.
57. 99.
Ang hydrogen ba?
We have 2.
Dipole.
3.7.
Okay, we have 2 IMFs in this ethanamine or ethylamine. Okay, one is the van der Waals London dispersion forces which exist between carbon to carbon sa diri nga end sa molecule. London dispersion force, and the other one is there is a amino, sa amine group. Anong sa amine group? It's hydrogen bonding. But the powerful one is, or the stronger one is the hydrogen bonding. Because London dispersion forces is weak. Weak forces of attraction ang London dispersion forces. Okay? And because of this weak London, van der Waals London dispersion forces and stronger hydrogen bonding, this ethylamine or ethanamine interacts with water. Hence, it is soluble in water. Okay? But why is the second example insoluble? How many carbons in the aliphatic side, in the aliphatic chain? We have 8. Nagambal fewer than 5, then more than 5. Sparingly soluble, but with 8, it's already insoluble. Because the weak London dispersion forces of attraction increases as the carbon-to-carbon networks increases. Okay? Okay? So this is your hydrophobic end. The carbon-to-carbon end. No? This one is your hydrophobic end. Which means it will not interact with water. Okay? So here, the London dispersion forces is significant over the effect rather of London dispersion forces is significant more than the effect of the hydrogen bonding. Okay? Which makes this ano yung molecule? Octanamine, no? Or octylamine insoluble in water. Okay? So that is only for the solubility. Next one. So almost all alkyl ammonium chloride, bromide, iodide, and sulfate salts are soluble in water. Thus, primary, secondary, or tertiary amines that are not soluble in water will dissolve in dilute aqueous, HCl, HBr, HI, and even sulfuric acid. Okay? So you have here your insoluble, water insoluble amine. This can be converted to a soluble form by reaction with a dilute acid. Okay? So, the reaction between this water insoluble amine and your dilute acid forms a water-soluble alkyl amino salt.
iPhone 15.
Okay? So, depende kung ano nga acid ang gingamit. Okay? So, kung HCl ni siya, so it's alkyl ammonium chloride ang ma-form. No? Na salt.
Self mo?
Kung hydrobromic acid, so alkyl ammonium bromide naman. Okay?
Sir, anong ginamit sa primary? Sir, na amin?
Sa?
Na amin? Sa primary na amin?
Regardless, regardless, no, kung primary, secondary, tertiary siya. So, ang assumption dili is, kung primary siya, more than 6, 7, 8, matako na ang R groups niya. Okay, so water insoluble naman na sila. Okay? So, this particular, I think sala ang kasunod sa may sunod din siya dapat na this one. So, italagin ko lang ito no? So, we can actually separate amines, no, from other neutral compounds using the reaction where an insoluble amine can be protonated to form a water-soluble alkyl ammonium salt. Okay? So, say you have an amine, no, with neutral compounds such as, say, alcohol or ether or ketone. Okay? So, when you add a sample that contains the mixture of these organic compounds, when a dilute acid solution is added. Okay? So the mixture of compound is first dissolved in ether. Okay? So upon adding dilute acid, so this will result in the formation of two layers. One, the upper layer, an ether layer, and the one sa lower, we have the aqueous layer. Okay? So the karon ang imong alkyl aminium salt. The alkyl aminium salt is water soluble. Therefore, it is in the aqueous layer. Okay? So from this step, na-separate mo na ang amines from other neutral compounds or from other components sa mixture sa sample mo. Okay? Now, next step is how can you recover the separated amine, no? Which is in the form of an amine salt, alkyl aminium salt. Okay? Ma-recover mo na siya by adding a base. No? By adding a base. So, again, there will be two layers. The amine will be regenerated in pure form in the aqueous layer of salt solution. Okay? Now, question is, why base and not acid? Why base, not an acid? Liquid na. So, sa quiz na lang na, sa essay na lang ha, basta di pa mamlato na. Okay? Balik. Okay, that is for the solubility. So, sa exam na lang nagaling magawa, no? Sige, at least makaduga ko to essay. Ay, wala yung ginasabak. So, sa exam yung sakton. Ay, nagaan ko ng 10 points.
Kay mas nabuo yung PH.
Dito na lang ako sa exam na lang ko yung mga butang. No, dito ko ibutang na tapos 10 points ko. Okay, that's significant. Next is boiling point. Another physical property of amines. No? So amines are moderately polar substances. They have boiling points higher than that of alkanes, but generally lower than those of alcohols of comparable molecular weight. So we have three examples here. One alkane, second is an amine, and of course last alcohol. Here, there is no bond polarity here. Okay? So the only IMF that occurs in this molecule is the van der Waals London dispersion force. Okay? While here, in ethylamine, we have two.
There was and hydrogen.
London dispersion force plus
Hydrogen bond.
hydrogen bonding. And here, we also have two. Parehas sila. Okay? Parehas ng isa ka IMF, duha. The next question is, how come that an amine has lower boiling point than the equivalent or comparable molecular weight alcohol? Okay? Balik ka sa bond polarity.
Moderate.
Okay? Here, amines are moderately polar. Okay? The difference between the carbon nitrogen
Gamay na.
is gamay sang sa difference sa carbon oxygen and even sa hydrogen oxygen and nitrogen hydrogen. Okay? So, more polar molecule therefore has higher boiling point. Okay?
Mabukal na sa.
Room temperature. Okay, boiling point yun eh. Oo. I think, for substances, no, whose boiling points are below room temperature. So dapat, no, hindi man sila nga aircon. So it is sealed, no, in a special, or it is handled in a special, say, container, or say, may mga special conditions. Like say, pwede mo nga i-increase or i-decrease, say, pressure or whatever factors. Okay? O, handle with care. Okay, so notice, maboil naman siya. That's true, maboil siya at room temperature. Okay? Next, the boiling point of amines increases as a function of their capacity to form hydrogen bonds. So we have here the decreasing trends, no, where primary amine, no, has higher boiling point than secondary and than tertiary. Okay, for primary amines, how many hydrogen bonds can
That
this
reminds me of you.
primary amine form? Duha. Sa secondary, isa. Sa tertiary, wala. Okay? So, the function of their capacity to form hydrogen bond. The more hydrogen bond forms,
Or,
the higher the
balik pili
boiling.
lang ko na. Kung ano
Okay?
ka for.
So nga, ang tertiary amine, wala siya
Hindi nga
hydrogen
babaw.
bond. Kaya wala ganit na hydrogen. Di ba? Okay? Okay, take notes on relationship, ha? So that is for the physical property. Next, we have chemical properties. So basicity of first alkyl amines. So the chemistry of amines is dominated by the lone pair in its nitrogen atom. Okay? So how reactive is the nitrogen?
Or lang na pili lang ta.
How basic? No? Depends on how much the lone pair breaks away from the nitrogen nucleus. Okay? So first we have the primary, secondary, and tertiary alkyl amines are more basic than ammonia.
Lagi na, ikaw pa yung nagabutan ko.
Okay?
Una,
Why?
si Janelle nagabutan ko.
What is present in primary, secondary, and tertiary alkyl amines that are absent in ammonia? So we have here a primary alkyl amine against ammonia.
May alkyl, so tatlo ka H, duha ka H.
What is H3? An electron donating group, which makes the nitrogen atom more nucleophilic. Diba? Ariting direction more nucleophilic. Okay? The CH3 group tends to donate electrons towards the nitrogen atom, making the nitrogen atom more nucleophilic, therefore more reactive. Okay? Pag more reactive siya, mas ano siya? Mas basic because it can readily accept a proton. Okay, kay Lewis Wilson siya. Okay, take note, no, of the decreasing trend. Secondary, tertiary, and primary. Ammonia with the least basis. Reason is we have the inductive effect makes the electron density on the alkyl amines nitrogen greater than the nitrogen of the ammonia. Okay? Next, alkyl amines against amines. So, alkyl amines are more basic than the corresponding amides. The reason is in that the localization and localization of the lone pair. In alkylamine class, the lone pair is localized in this nitrogen atom. While in the amide, it is delocalized between the nitrogen atom and the oxygen atom. Okay? Then, no? So, the localization and the delocalization of the lone pair affects the basicity of the compound. Okay? Next. Amines are generally stronger bases than alcohols or ethers, and they can be effectively protonated even by weak acid. Okay? So we have here, this is your triethyl amine. This one is ano ni? This is acid-base reaction class. You have a triethylamine, which is a base. Then, what is this one? Acid-base reaction, no? Base. So, acid. Ano ma acid? Okay, acetic acid. And acetic acid is a weak acid. Even weak acid class can protonate amine. Okay? The more easily that an amine is protonated, that means the more reactive the nitrogen atom of amine, the more basic it becomes. High reactivity, high basicity. Okay? So, the resulting triethyl ammonium salt, no, has a higher pKa value or is therefore more acidic. pKa value, di ba? Higher pKa, high pKa indicates strongly basic or more basic. Lower pKa, less basic, no? Or kung less basic siya, so more acidic naman siya. Okay? So, using the pKa values class, no, you can actually describe, no, the acidity or basicity of a compound. No? So, diining halin ang pKa. Ano rin sa pKa? Doon ako. Wala pa?
Why pa di ba ang PKA? Wala lang, isang PKA sa PA. Sa
Sa?
PA. Doon
Sa
na-discuss
PH?
mo na sa
Sa kwan?
May PKA.
Basta dyan, di ka.
Wow, anything that reminds me.
basta beaker.
So, dahil beaker.
We are describing amines that are basic, yet we use pKa values than pKa values. Ano yan? Ano rason? No?
Creamstick ka, Izra ko.
Ay!
Ano rason?
Hindi, ang mo helmet yata.
Oo ah.
Anong formula ng mga pKa?
Gamitan ng pagkagahod mo.
Equals the negative log of Ka. So,
Anong
paano
Ka,
mo naman
sir?
po ng Ka?
Uy,
Ang pH.
Your Ka is your acid dissociation constant. Ka. So we can actually use use, no, in terms of say concentration of say your AA, this is actually from the KC and equilibrium constant expression. No, but since this involves an acid base, okay, so we use the term Ka or an acid dissociation constant, no, to describe the acidity of
Sino niyo?
Extra.
Ngayon pa sa may
the
tayo.
compound. So,
Bulak tayo.
this Ka is divided into two terms. The product terms on the numerator, so products over
Kaya,
the reactant
ayun.
terms. So anong sa product na nun?
Try.
So you have the
And
N plus
plus.
EB3. Okay? Then, then the concentration of the acetate ion over the concentrations of N EP3 times the concentration of your acid.
Try mga tayo. Janal. Or sugar.
So water used in the reaction or water generated in the reaction, wala na siya ginagala. Water used in the reaction and water used, generated rather, wala na dala. Okay? Okay, wala pa man yung producer sa ano siya nga basta pa ang mga siya. Transfer ko lang yung next slide. Tapusin ko lang ni chemical properties. Next, we have aromatic amines or aryl amines are much weaker bases than alkyl amines. Therefore, name this
Apat, lima, anom, ng hexan.
hexyl or hexanamine or hexyl amine or hexanamine is more basic than
Amin.
right? Here, no, the lone pair in the nitrogen atom is localized in the nitrogen atom. While here, we have the resonance stabilization path. Okay, wherein the lone pair of the nitrogen atom is actually stabilized by the pi system of the benzene ring. Okay, as a result, no, nubo ang iyama reactivity sa imong nitrogen atom. Pag nubo ang reactivity niya, less basic siya.
Ano kay Angelo?
Okay? Okay, so this can be seen here sa sa ini nga diagram. So we have here aryl amine and an alkyl amine. Okay? So the stabilization energy of an aryl amine is lower than the stabilization energy of an alkyl amine. Why? Because here you have here the benzene ring. The pi system of the benzene ring stabilizes the NH2, no? So amo ni siya ang resonance stabilization sa alkyl amine while diri ang aryl amine mas subo. So when an aryl amine and an alkyl amine are protonated, no? So ma-change siya into a protonated form. So this is your aryl ammonium ion and your alkyl ammonium ion. Let's compare the change, no? Or the energy required during protonation. Because this resonance stabilization class is lost during protonation. Halin ka sa arylamine, ang difference bala sa energy, mas nako sang sa amount of energy lost during protonation. Okay? So, as a result, arylamines are less basic than alkyl amines. Okay? Mas light na ba? Question here? Okay. Let's now go to the effects of electron donating and electron withdrawing groups. So, electron donating substituents increase the reactivity of an aromatic ring towards E plus AS, as well as increase the basicity of the corresponding aryl amines. Tandaan, the more reactive the nitrogen atom, the more basic. High reactivity, high basicity. Okay? So, let's compare this para-methyl-aniline and from aniline. Okay? So, the difference between para-methyl-aniline and aniline is that you have an NH2 group here present in the ring. NH2 is a strong activator. Okay? So, a strong activator siya, this NH2 group, donates electrons towards this. Arigal ito. Sala.
Luwat.
Suli. So, this is para-methyl-aniline. Okay? Dito kayo nagtulok sa NH2, no? So, what is present in para-methyl-aniline that is not present in aniline is the CH group, sorry. And CH group is still, it's a weak, weak activating group. Okay? But still, it is an electron donating group. So, kung pwede ko na di masulatan arrow. That means electrons are donated from the methyl group towards the benzene ring. Okay? And this electron donated by the methyl group, okay, makadto na di siya sa pi system. Then, magwa man na nga di siya. Makadto sa gabi. Sa NH2. Okay? Which makes the nitrogen more reactive. Therefore, this para-methyl aniline is not only more reactive than aniline, but is likewise more basic. Okay? That is for strong. How about electron? By the way, the same na siya sa iba ng mga activators, ha? So, I only cited methyl group in this case. But, same trend is observed for other activating groups present in the ring. Okay, together with your N2H. Your NH2 rather. Okay? How about if electron withdrawing groups naman? So, this makes the ring less reactive as well as the resulting compounds less basic. Okay? So we have aniline against para-nitroaniline. So what is present in para-nitroaniline that is absent in aniline? It's the nitro group. Okay? Nitro group is a strong deactivator. So this tends to withdraw electron from the benzene ring. Okay? So, ang direksyon naman sa electron is from the ring pakadto the ring. Okay? Which makes the benzene ring less nucleophilic, less reactive, okay? And the resulting compound, less basic. Okay? Okay, last. When a nitrogen atom is incorporated directly into an aromatic ring, its basicity depends on the bonding context. Paano ni? Why is pyridine more basic than pyrrole?
Ay aromatic. Ay aromatic.
The nitrogen here plus no, is an sp2 hybrid. Yes, which is a ring. Okay? While here, the nitrogen is not part of the pyrrole no pyrrole. sp2 hybrid, while this one, no, the nitrogen is not part of the aromatic step. So therefore, stabilize ang lone pair diri sa diri. More stabilized lone pair in the nitrogen atom makes it more stabilized mo. Less reactive, less basic. Sama naman siya ng mga relationship. In contrast, this one, pyridine, is therefore more basic than pi. Okay? Answer na.
Ang ascending, bali, bromo, amino.
Tag nitro.
Anilin. Weak gas.
basically nitro okay. Amin.
Weak deactivating.
Amin.
Aminoaldehyde.
Amin.
Weak
Kasi ang little defect yun. Amin na ito. Di ba kung may isang pagkakagin tayo? At gagamay, no? Ganda din.
Ayaw mo.
Galit, ganda din. Bali, ano bro?
Amino. May moderately deactivating sa, di ba? Moderately, dayon weak, dayon activating na. Ascending.
Ascending, meaning
From
from
lowest
to highest.
least basic to okay, the most basic, increasing basicity.
Weakest. Ay, tsaka ito.
Kahit kung tapunin mo, deactivating, gagamay. Bisikan, sige. May bisika,
Hello, punti po isa.
Ano na siya gani? Ang nitroamylase, so you have an H2.
NO2.
Ano
Sa
ito?
para.
Nagali NO2. NO2.
NH2.
Then, you have
OCH3.
amino benzaldehyde. Ano na para no sa may NH2? NH2 plus on benzaldehyde, so CHO.
Ay, yung OCH3. RGR.
So NH2 about BR. Okay, say this is 1, amaning 2, amaning 3.
132. 132.
One,
So
two, three.
this one is strong deactivator. This one
moderate.
moderate deactivator. This one
Week.
Ah, tsaka ito. 1, 2, 3.
deactivator.
3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. So
1, 2, 3.
ang strong deactivator It will make the aniline
Weaker.
weak. So ano ito relationship? Ma-greater than ko or ma-less than?
Less than.
One is?
Less than 2. Less than 3.
Na? So in terms of reactivity, same trend. No? In terms of reactivity, where the most reactive is your para-bromo additive, followed by your para-aminobenzylaldehyde and your para-nitro additive. For basicity trend, increasing basicity trend, that is also the same. So, ang example mo class para lang. Meta and ortho, no? Same trends. Same trends. Okay? So, slide 35 pa lang of 82. Ano mo yung klase?
Sir, pwede ba lang na ni mga send out hasta lang sa slide 35? Tunaan lang namin.
Naka-quiz na ako das.
Hindi, hindi daw. May mag-quiz.
Kaya dapat nadala na ako.
Galing sir, overtime. Overtime ka na, sir. Hindi. Oo, hindi ko mag-quiz. Oo.
Ano, tatlo lang ito galing mo. Wala na ako space para sa... Ito, ang preparations.
Hindi na lang nakadala, sir.
Dalawin na yung tanan niya.
Preparation lang, hindi lang reaction. Diba? Ang reaction, center na lang. Second sem.
Or 4.
Okay, we're done.